Will,
Yeah.
you told me 2 great stories right now
I know.
that we obviously can't share, but
I know.
I just want to say those were both great in different ways.
I know, right? Two different ways.
The first one hit me like a jab.
Uh-huh.
You know, like if you're in a boxing match, you kind of just get a jab, and it's like, oh,
Yeah.
that kind of hurt, but like it woke me up. And then the second one was the knockout.
The second one, dude, I've told everybody I've seen recently that story, so I'm well practiced at it by now.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, it was like one for the books. Like all my friends are like, "Well, you got to make a movie about that one."
I think you got to keep exploring that.
that
world.
Yeah.
That you're.
I agree with you. I do need to keep exploring this world.
I'm trying to tiptoe around it, but I don't know. That's honestly too for career wise, and I know that's some like douchey shit. But
we all have a lot to learn from each other. I think that's what's interesting is I think we happen to find people who would learn the most from us and us from them. You know what I'm saying?
Find people that will learn the most. Oh, like a give and take.
Yeah, a give and take. Yeah, like it's like there are things that some people know a lot of that I know nothing of, and there's some that I know a lot of that they know nothing of, just because of our life positions. I think that's why we can help each other.
I find that I'm able to get that out of people when they're strangers. I don't know. I feel like when you're a stranger and you're talking to someone, it's easier for you to tell someone something. Like I can probably tell a stranger something vulnerable about me easier than I can like a family member or a close friend. For some reason, when it's a stranger and you don't know, maybe you'll never see him again.
Yeah, there's something really nice when like you just become friends with somebody and you still keep up those. I don't know.
Walls?
Those, that appearance. Some people are extremely good at that. I met some people who are like, ooh, your outer layer is absolutely incredible.
You're giving your best version.
Yeah, and then after like a couple months, they let down and they're like, oh, because I feel like I'm the type of person that gives the people around me a lot of confirmation. I'm always telling people how much I love and appreciate them. So after a while, people are like, yeah, whatever. Like, this is the real me. And I'm like, ah.
So like it doesn't matter if you like it or what do you mean?
Yeah, I feel like people start to test you when you're the type of person that's always like expressing to someone like that you love them and appreciate them, like friends in any way. Mm-hmm. It makes them be like they kind of take you for granted. And they're like, all right, if you love me so much, I'm just gonna be in attitude with you all the time.
I'm gonna give you attitude
all the time. Yeah, and I feel like maybe my like joyful. I'm pretty like I try to be in a good mood these days, and I feel like I might bring in those type of people because of that. Like I feel like I attract bad mood people because like I'm not.
I feel like your barometer for these type of things has gotten a lot better, and even the outlook. I remember back in the day, you would say some stuff like that about like how you feel, and you're very open about how you feel, blatantly put. But sometimes I'd be like, I don't think Will even knows what he's talking about. But there was one recently that you said, and it was that people, if they're, like, let's say you have a friend, and they give you some attitude, and they coming at you a certain way, they're really not mad at you.
Oh, no.
They're just projecting the way they feel, and they can't talk to the actual person.
No.
They're taking it out on you.
Yeah, dude, that's one of my life lessons. Like, I think about that all the time. Like, because of how I am as a person, me as of today, like, if you're gonna come at me with some attitude, it just doesn't make sense. I'm so into my own shit that if you're coming at me, it must be offhand. I've learned that when people get upset, it's usually the smallest thing. They're like, this final thing tick me off, and then I'm gonna go off on this person about it. But if you really listen to them and get deep, they'll tell you everything. And I love it when people tell me everything.
When they get real with you.
When they're like, you know what, it wasn't you, it's actually Broderick.
I know, right? And then they start crying.
Yeah, and I'm like, yeah, tell me about it.
It's weird though, but ever since you mentioned it, I now notice that it's a movie trope and a TV trope. It happens in every fucking sitcom.
Yeah,
like the dad gets yelled at by the boss.
Yeah,
and then he comes home and he's mad.
The kid.
Yeah, and then he fucking beats the kid or he yells at the kid or does whatever, takes it out on him. And I was like, oh shit, that happens in life.
And this actually happened to me today. Is somebody was?
I shouldn't have said beat the kid. I feel bad about that. I feel bad about that.
You didn't have to do all of that.
But it's true. I mean, at least
but yeah,
in the shows.
in actual real life is terrible. But the new one that I'm on to that is coming on to me today. This is still in development. Is about when so some people are in a bad mood all the time. Let's just say you have a friend who's in a bad mood all the time because these people exist, but we still love them anyway.
Andy.
Andy. You're more likely to like, if I also have something that is like upsetting me, like I can fight off that person's bad energy all the time.
Right.
But if there's something that's bothering me, from something else, when I go and talk to Andy, all of a sudden I'm gonna start being in a bad mood like Andy is.
Like you guys are just like stewing together.
Yeah, we stew together. People have a habit of stewing together.
Is that a good or bad thing?
I mean, I guess depends on like everything in limitation. Everything.
I think you gotta have your talking shit friends.
Yeah,
You gotta have your positive vibe friends.
Yeah.
Working hard friends. I think you have like a balance of, I mean, not even friends, just relationships in your life. You gotta have a little bit of everyone has that friend that you just like to talk shit with.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh yeah.
You just
like,
judge everything, and you just really like it. I feel like your version of that is your mom.
My mom?
You and your mom, just like you.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah,
making fun of everything. Your mom tells jokes.
My mom is the joke master. Like goodness, like just I agree with you. It's my mom. Yeah,
and does it so easy without any effort.
Yeah, because my mom is a mother and a teacher, so like you have to always know how to say something without going too far. But she rides that like. Ooh, so hard.
I still find it incredible that your mom's a teacher. I for some reason,
I know, right?
I can't picture her like telling a kid like you need to go home and do your homework. Not because I can't hear that.
You're
from your
right,
mom. It's just
though.
her personality that I know
home,
is so chill.
Yeah,
and
you're right.
So
you're
like,
right. You need to go do your homework. You're right.
I can't picture it.
And you know what? My mom was never like that with me. Like my mom is not like I think she gets all her studiousness out at the school. Luckily for her kids just like we get it. But you're right. My mom was never on my back like you need to be doing homework.
Okay, so look at that's the same. That's the same thing as the dad getting yelled at by the boss and taking the bad energy on the kid. It's all energy.
Yeah, it's
like
all energy.
Your mom has this energy in her that she needs to discipline kids, so she does it to her students, rightfully so, and she's teaching them. So when she goes home, she doesn't need that energy. She doesn't have it anymore.
Yeah, exactly. And I feel like when I was a kid, I would interpret it as my mom like not caring, like taking care of me or whatever. But it's like my mom takes care of 36 children.
Like, how many kids are in her class?
I mean, like, at a time, like sometimes when it's a bunch of kids in the class,
That's
she has like that many sixth graders. Like she's not about to come home and then tell me something.
Yeah, sixth grade, is that like how, 8 years old?
Plus 5, so like 11.
Is that the trick? Plus 5?
Yeah, like you start school at like 5. Yeah.
Oh shit, you're smart.
4 or 5. Yeah, I just had to figure that out.
11 years old.
Yeah, I remember I went back to my mom's school recently, and one of the other teachers that was there was like, "Please come speak to my class really quick." And tell them about your career. And these kids are not bad. Not okay. These kids like they're kids. 11-year-olds have about a 1 minute attention span. Luckily I'm a performer and I can keep it up. And I was like, but I'm dying out here. I'm like, how do you do it? And he has this thing on his shirt where it's like the teacher. He's like, he has this thing on his shirt where he talks into it and it talks into a speaker onto his to his classroom, so his voice is even louder. I'm like, goodness.
Oh, like an intercom?
Yeah. I'm like, how do you deal with like this many rambunctious children? I have to become a teacher someday.
He has a wireless intercom on him so the kids can hear him?
Yeah. It goes to the you know where the thing that calls into the class is like, come to the front, and his voice would just go into it, which is pretty awesome.
Is it because the classroom is so big, or just because he's using tricks to like...
I think it's because he also just wants to be able to be chill and while he's explaining something, but you can hear it better.
Wow.
Yeah. I don't think my mom uses that because she likes to be loud.
See, that's another thing. Can't picture your mom being loud.
Oh, my mom is loud. Yeah,
I've never even heard your mom raise her voice.
Yeah. See, she didn't do any of that at home. You're right. I went to the class. One of her class might have told you this recently. And last year I went to her class, and she was like, she just was chewing out the kids. And I asked one of the kids, I was like, man, she's mean, huh? And he said, no, she's not mean. She said when the kids deserve it, like they
get it.
Yeah. And I was like, oh, I guess that's true.
Wow.
Yeah.
So your mom teaches 6th grade, so that means she just teaches everything, right? It's not middle school is when they start.
You teach everything. Yeah, You're right. My mom is not like, you don't expect my mom to go be reading out of textbooks.
I really can't picture it.
That's so
it's
true.
It's such a different life.
Yeah, you're right.
It's weird. When I was a kid, I would, you think of your teachers and you think like they
must do this all day long.
Their life is to being a teacher, but no, they might get up to some shit when they get home.
Yeah. Look, your teachers could be anybody.
They might be a murderer. You don't ever know.
Yeah, you never know.
Seen the show Dexter? I seen it.
I know you really like the show Dexter.
I wanted to give. You ever watch somebody in your life who you care about? And they get up on a stage or they do something outside of their comfort zone. Yeah. And you're nervous because you're not sure if they're going to kill it or not. Yeah. Or, who knows what the reaction's going to be. And then they go up and they fucking slay it. You ever experienced that? Yeah. I need to give a shout out to Ava tonight.
Oh, yeah?
Where I just, right now it's what? It's 10:30. We don't really do the podcast this late. Ava did stand up tonight.
Oh yeah, huh?
Ava did stand up and she killed it.
Wow, for real?
And that's good to hear. It was in front of an audience that didn't know who she was. So you know, like if it's your audience,
they're gonna help you. They're gonna watch
you. Say anything and they'll laugh. She went up there and did the damn thing.
Wow, that's really good.
She did 7 minutes too.
7 minutes that's good. That's
First
good.
time.
That's great.
And no crowd work, no nothing. I was near tears.
Yeah.
I was so fucking nervous. Remember when you told me this was years ago when I did the main stage at VidCon?
Yeah, yeah.
And how you were like John was like trying
That's
to tell
exactly
you
where
something.
it
And you're like,
took
John,
me.
shut the fuck up. John, shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Like I that was probably the first time that I can remember feeling that way. I felt like I was more nervous than she was.
Yeah, because you really want this person to do well. Yeah, that's exactly where it took me when you said that.
Is that empathy?
I guess so, yeah.
I'm trying to master empathy these days.
Yeah, that's so good to hear. And 7 minutes is good, because like when they give you like 2 minutes, it's like that's how long it takes to get comfortable up there.
To clear your throat. Even.
Yeah, to clear your throat. So 7 minutes is perfect. I'm so glad. Where'd you guys go?
We went to... Dude, honestly, remember how we did a show at the Open Space?
Yeah.
So it's like a smaller theater like that. No, not to shit on Open Space. Open Space is great. Way nicer. Very nice vibe. Somewhere in like Silver Lake or some shit. I don't know. But it was a nice little...
Is that type of room?
It was a nice room that you can really you paint the walls with your jokes.
I've been coming up with my live performance that I'm going to work on. It's going to take me months. Like, this is... it's so fucking extra. Like people are going to... like.
What style?
Okay, I'm just gonna go ahead and say it. Like, it's like, nah, I'm not gonna say that. I'll tell you later.
Oh, really?
But it's good. I need to get a car on stage. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, you've mentioned this.
Yeah.
Before.
I see this in my head, and it's the most extra thing I've ever come up with.
That's okay.
Yeah,
that's you.
Yeah.
I experienced something at this same show. Ava went on, killed it. Big round of applause. And then
that's great.
A guy goes up after, and he's a stand-up comedian as well, or so he fucking says. His first joke, he stole his joke.
Oh, it sucks when you know.
Second joke, stole the joke.
Oh.
Fuck, I'm blanking on the comedian's name. Really sad. Last year, his wife passed away.
Oh, Patton Oswalt.
Patton Oswalt just came up with the special like last week, and it's the opening joke. And this kid just straight up ripped it verbatim.
Really?
And I was so sad.
You know, yeah.
I remember, do you remember when Joe Rogan, that clip went viral because he like called out Carlos Mencia?
Yeah. Joe Rogan's crazy.
Yeah, Joe Rogan like fucking straight up called him out.
Yeah, I remember you showed that to me.
And I was like, yeah, like I understood where Joe Rogan was coming from, but I was like, you're doing a little too much.
Yeah.
Like, I think if they steal the jokes, like that's stupid on them, but I do appreciate that Joe Rogan stood up for like the comedians.
I'm pretty sure George Lopez punched Carlos Mencia for stealing his joke.
Really?
Yeah.
Like at an event or something?
Yeah, he like saw him in the back and was like,
wow.
Bam, bam.
Damn. I mean, they are like in direct competition.
Yeah.
Right? Like at that time, what was that? Like early 2000s?
Oh, that was like early 2000s. Yeah.
Like that was...
Just stop stealing jokes. And it's hard because like there's so much shit that's funny. I made a joke the other day about my dick being so big it's like Godzilla. My friend laughed and then showed me a clip of Dave Chappelle. Because, you know, I never watched this Chappelle show as a kid. He shows me Dave Chappelle doing the exact same joke I just did in my living room. So, like, you know, like jokes are like, that happens.
Well,
but,
and that's the thing. Like, for
like,
this guy...
You know.
It's not that the joke was similar. He said it verbatim.
Yep, and that happens.
He even like this is how Patton Oswalt opens the special,
and that was recent.
Like
that was recent.
I feel like if you're gonna be a joke thief, steal something in the middle.
I know, steal some George Carlin, and people might not know.
And like George Carlin, 3/4 into the special, when people like start.
Oh, you're right.
Off.
Not at the very beginning.
Not the first fucking joke.
Yeah, you're right.
Execution was the same. It was just I was so sad.
I saw a dude steal directly from Bo Burnham once. I think I told you about that.
That's another thing. Like you can't steal
a nerdist.
Bo Burnham is so like.
I know. It's like you know who that is.
It's very. It's Bo Burnham, and what's the other comedian that's like Bo Burnham? He's not. He doesn't do music, but he's like very wordplay heavy.
Oh, Dimitri Martin.
That guy. I've never seen his work, but people always say like those two are hand in hand. I don't know if that's true. But like, don't steal someone who.
And that's kind of where I'm trying to go with this show that I'm doing. But yeah.
Oh, like it's like a one man show then.
Yeah,
right?
I'm trying. Yeah.
Like a little play.
Yeah, like a little play.
Are you the only one in it?
That's what I'm trying to figure out. Like, I want motherfuckers to come in, but like, and I need a guy with a saxophone, but I need to find my saxophone player that I'm like, okay, this guy can be on stage.
I already told you I got your saxophone.
You think
player.
that they say? Do you think that's really the one though? I haven't met him yet.
Actually, I don't know. He's on my new record.
Okay.
And I haven't showed you yet. he's got some vocals.
Oh yeah, really?
Yeah, well, he's my vocal coach. But
Oh yeah.
he's a multi-talented man, and
Okay.
I think I got your saxophone player.
I hope he's willing to be in the play.
I'll ask him about it.
Yeah.
He's a straight performer. Like
Yeah.
he is like he wants to be or he is an artist and wants to be in the studio all the time. But he tells me like, regardless of anything, I just want to be on stage to perform.
Interesting.
He just wants to sing. He just wants to play sax.
Okay, perfect. Because what I'm about to do is ridiculous.
He last week he was playing a show at some little lounge in LA, and he was doing a set with T-Pain. I guess they were just they were just on stage like having fun.
T-Pain.
It's like, wow, that's like an interesting group to be running with. I'm hanging out with T-Pain.
Yeah.
today.
I had a friend that hung out at T-Pain's house recently.
You're the one that told me that.
Yeah.
He was hanging out with some other rapper.
Yeah. It was like wild.
Speaking of rappers, you see Lil B got jumped?
Oh, did he really?
He really did get jumped by like 10 dudes.
No.
And it was at a festival. It happened yesterday. They were straight up, so he was on the floor and they were all kicking him.
Yeah.
Like it was real sad. And then he got up and kind of like walked away. He didn't try to fight them back. And then like Travis Scott and a bunch of people, I think like even Drake were coming out like saying save Lil B, like protect him.
Oh, that's fucked up. Yeah, Lil B is had a good heart.
And Lil B, he said on Twitter, he came out and he was like, I forgive those guys.
Oh, that's really good to hear.
I don't believe in violence, and I love them, and I forgive them. And I was like, wow, no one's ever done that in the rap game.
Yeah.
He might have just made some history.
I agree with you.
Like, I feel like most people, I don't know, Lil B, a lot of people like him, but a lot of other people shit on him.
Yeah.
And then a lot of people don't know who he is.
Trent put on his new record for me, like a couple of his new things, and it's just hilarious. I got to be honest with you.
Lil B's on a different level.
Lil B's on a different level.
But man, he is really out here speaking the word.
Yeah, and like he produced that whole album, I think.
Like I'm trying to think, like imagine you got jumped by 10 dudes.
I know. I mean, I would forgive him too. Hopefully, you never know. Actually, you know what? I might not have been as good as him.
I just don't know. Like, I think in the after maybe
I definitely would have made a diss track.
Maybe a day or two, I would be able to like think about it and be like, okay, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
But like instantly, he was like, I forgive them.
Yeah, that's
like
good.
you're still bloody.
Yeah.
Your nose is broken.
That means he's vibing the right way. He's positive.
Like a Gandhi.
Yeah, it's a pretty Gandhi move.
He's the Gandhi of the rap game.
I feel like I'm bound to run into Lil B pretty soon. After being in the Bay all this weekend, I realized that I need to go be with my roots.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's about time.
Go live in it?
Yeah, I'm trying to make a trip back to the Bay once a month, hopefully.
That's easy.
Yeah, I need to go. Like, I worked there all summer, but that was in San Francisco. But I need to go absorb it.
The culture.
Yeah, because this new sound that I'm working on, it feels very much like that.
Really?
Yeah, it feels like the Bay.
What do you think you have to do specifically, like in the Bay, to absorb the culture? Is it like go out to the parties there, or
it's really the people? I think I really need to I really want the approval of the people where I'm from. Like, because it's just, if it comes from them, if I get them first, like, I feel like that creation will be so honest. Mm-hmm. And I don't know, it's just that Bay energy. If I want to be that. I want to be the Bay's champion. So, like, that's just what I need. Like, I'm not trying, like, I'm very glad to where I'm at right now, but I want to be the champion of the Bay.
Got to beat out G-Eazy.
Oh, yeah, and he's a great one.
So I always wondered this, like G-Eazy always talks about the Bay in high regard, which that's great, like he really reps them.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to think, like, at the certain parts of the Bay that I've been to, I'm like, do these people really rep G-Eazy? Like, I know they really like E40, but do they really like G-Eazy?
Yeah, interesting.
Like, does your sister like G-Eazy?
I don't think my sister knows who that is.
And that's what I thought. Like, I'm for sure your sister doesn't know G-Eazy.
And that's okay. Like, I mean, he's probably more popular in LA than he is in the Bay, ironically.
But like, that's the thing.
But he's still extremely popular. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he can sell at the Oracle. Oracle.
Yeah, the Oracle. So yeah, you're right. I see what you mean, though. Yeah, I really want.
Like, do you want the grassroots, like how Kendrick has Compton?
Yeah, like Compton. Yeah.
Like they for sure fuck with him.
Yeah,
Or is it just
like he will drive around his city and hear his song.
Yeah.
Yeah, I need to be able to drive around Richmond and hear myself.
So that's what it is. You want the people of Richmond.
Yeah. And I'm listening to, like, you know, my sister has her friends Mark, Jimmy. I love these people. They're my family. Like I hear what they're listening to on their phones, and what people listen to in the Bay is so different. Like I can, from my personal experience, I think the Bay has some of the worst rap music in the world.
Is it still Tell Me How to Go?
No. That's some of our best shit.
Is it hyphy still or no?
No, it's just so the way that their audio sounds is like so less precision on the vocals. I think that we have some of the worst, but also some of the best. Like the most catchiest songs are from the Bay. The most least thought out songs are from the Bay, and I think that's why me as a kid I was like, I hate this shit. It was because I was like, there's no thought behind it. But I think that's why I need to get to my roots and stop like thinking so much. I want to find like those like oh my god, I don't even want to say the Playing With My Nose song, but like like there's some the Bay hits.
Playing With My Nose.
Like people know like that one song. It's just there's just Bay songs that are just.
Oh, I thought this was a song you had.
No.
It's called Playing With My Nose.
Well, that might be the name of it. There's a bunch of them.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. There's just I've delved into that. Like I've listened to the bass sound, and I'm just from being there.
So sonically, you want to like?
I want to.
Production or
I will. Yeah. I think mine. I think what I do needs to encapsulate that. I need to find myself on there. You remember I told you, and I've used this term so many times, and I think so many of my friends don't get it because I'm not explaining it well yet. But like Blue's Clues.
Yeah.
And I told you, I think what I figured out how to do is like, when he goes, Blues can do, we can too, and he hops into a book.
Yeah.
That's what I can do on music. And I feel like I want to be able to find myself in a way that's unique to where I'm from. Like, I want to, like, I'm not copying it. I'm finding myself, the true version of myself in it.
But, okay, so how does that relate to Blue's Clues?
Like how he jumps in the book.
Oh, okay.
And he's like, oh, now I'm a part of this story.
So it's like if the book was the Bay and you're ready to jump in it.
Yeah, I'm ready to jump in it, like sonically. Like and not only am I jumped in it, like I can be myself there.
Write your own chapter.
Yeah, write my own chapter in it. Yeah.
That's kind of poetic.
How they feel about you, where you from, where your bed at.
I like it. I don't see. That's the thing I'm envious about you. Mm-hmm. I'm not trying to rep you, Kaiba.
Dude, no. I've been telling you since the beginning. I fuck with the IE. I rep the IE.
No,
I know people.
It's not good.
Every time I say that, people are like, "Ew, no." The IE sounds so dope. If you're not from around here, Inland Empire.
So let me know.
I fuck with Fontana, man.
Okay, but that's different. Let me know on Twitter if you think. Let's say if you don't know, if you're not from California, you only can answer this. If you're from California, your opinion is going to be the same as mine, most likely.
Yeah.
But if you're not from California, do you think Inland Empire sounds cool?
I do. When I moved here from the Bay and I heard Inland Empire, I was like, that place sounds intense.
Yeah,
Inland Empire?
In all the worst ways.
But then now I get it. It's just like inland land. It's because it's farther in than Los Angeles, but I fuck with it.
I didn't even realize
Inland Empire? Like, that sounds anime. But, honestly, it's just like a bunch of like, if you're driving up the state and you're like, oh, there's a gas station. Well, there's a whole city behind those gas stations. Yeah. And that's what the Inland Empire is.
And I mean, it's developed. The problem is, it's just like, I was talking to somebody at a gig the other day, and they knew what Redlands was. And I was like, wow, you know what Redlands? He's like, oh, yeah, I was from the Inland Empire. And we were talking, and he agreed. And I was like, Inland Empire, and I feel like this is such a hard diss, but I was like, there's a great part of Inland. There's a great part of every city. You can find beautiful things in every city. But because I'm from there, I feel like I have a right to speak from my perspective. I was like, a lot of it, besides the beautiful parts, is meth, incest, and some more meth.
Yeah,
and it's like
there's
that,
a lot of drug
that's
problems.
That's not a good time.
And what this reminds me of is that I was not. I found myself at a time in my life where I wasn't as proud of where I was from.
I remember.
But that changed really quick. But it's because something. Even after that, my mom pointed out to me. My mom came to our house that one time. She came for Thanksgiving, and she told me. She just said to me that like she was like, you hate everything that's like you. And I realized from that moment, because we were talking about my sister, and I used to have issues with my sister, but now I love my sister the most, as you were there.
Right.
And I realized it was so true. I realized that the things that represented me, like the things that felt like me, I didn't like. And I realized that I didn't love myself. So after that, I realized that once I started to love myself, I started to also love other things that were like me.
Oh, shit, that's hella deep.
I know. So you might find that in Ukaipa someday.
Damn.
There's you in there.
You just left me speechless.
No problem.
I'm sure. Okay, so tell me this, though, from your perspective. You lived in that same house. You had two different houses?
Yeah, I lived in two different houses in Richmond.
But for the most part, you were in one of them probably for the majority of the time?
Mm-hmm.
or
very very young, and then like middle school.
See, my problem is I went to like 10.
You did.
I went to like 10 or 12 different schools.
And then you also lived in a really nice place in the Philippines, so like.
I mean, I lived in a couple nice places.
An island in the Philippines, like it's just like absolutely breathtaking. So like, what could you say? Like even in the poor parts, it's still like an island.
Yeah. It's weird. Like when growing up, I went from not having money to being comfortable to not having money because maybe my family was up to some shady shit. I don't know. I'm not saying they were, but I'm not saying they were not. So it was a very interesting growing up experience, a very interesting childhood, at least from my eyes. But with that, it's just like I was always moving. So maybe that's why I don't really.
Yeah, you didn't get those grassroots.
I don't feel like Yucaipa's home because I went to high school there from 9th grade to graduation. But prior to that, I was fucking jumping around all the time. So
you know what? Maybe that is what your home is then.
Where?
Jumping around a bunch of times. You might find true happiness when you're jumping around a bunch of times.
And it's weird because it reflects in my life. I moved to Portland. I moved to the Philippines.
Yeah.
I'm just like, I like to get up and move.
Yeah, and I do too. As you know, we've moved like, a bunch of times.
Life is weird when you realize things about yourself.
Yeah, and you try to every day.
Having a podcast is like being a therapist.
Right, it really is.
For one another.
You're right. It really is.
Go ahead.
Well, I think the thing about a therapist, what a therapist does is keeps you connected to a person. I think sometimes we have an ability. Sometimes we find like, okay, I think I know what it means to be human, but you still need to be connected to somebody, and that's what therapists are there for.
To just listen. Be a new perspective.
And this is like, and like that's why it'll help your relationships with other people so much more if you have someone in your life that you were just connecting with.
When you sat down earlier, and this is kind of a tangent, but when you sat down earlier and you told me the 2 stories that we can't talk about in detail on the podcast for privacy issues, it made me miss something. It made me realize something as we are realizing things now. Damn. So remember back in anywhere from 2012 to 2015, the word that I would use to describe and define that era is shenanigans.
Shenanigans. Yeah.
I miss getting into some shenanigans. I don't really do it as much as I used to.
2012 to 2015
was shenanigans.
You're right, and then it was kind of door slam, got to do my shit.
Yeah, then it became like too serious, which is another. Fucking, I'm sorry, I keep going on tangents, but I don't go on shenanigans anymore.
You know what's funny is like, truthfully, you remember when we freshly rejointed our friendship, and you, me, Maureen, and Ava went to the same club.
So fun.
Then we went to the IHOP.
And I had a blast in there.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone's ever had that much fun in an IHOP.
I know, right?
Truly.
Yeah, I know.
Remember you almost ate shit?
Yeah. I almost busted my ass.
That was so great.
But I remember I was thinking that, like, I'm a part of a bunch of friend groups. I really don't find myself as a solid part of any of them. Like I jumped.
That's how you were in high school.
Yeah, my whole life. Yeah, and this particular friend group reminds me of How I Met Your Mother. It really, truly does.
Yeah, there's something weird about it. I think it's because we all really love the show.
Yeah, and it just puts me into that character. Like, I become Barney or whatever somehow. Yeah. Like, it's so weird.
Do your other friend, like any of your other friends, close friends, do they like that show? Or
no, actually, not that I know of.
It's weird. It's like if you like sitcoms, you kind of try. I mean, at least us creative, or not to sound pretentious, but like the people that we know, if you like sitcoms and you kind of grew up watching it, you kind of try to carve your life into that corner.
You do.
I kind of want my life to be a sitcom.
You have no idea. Like you have no idea. It's weird. It's weird.
But yeah, I would say
it's weird.
I'm real happy with my life, and but I do miss getting in shenanigans with you.
Yeah.
Like we would go to parties, and there was this vibe, and it was kind of unspoken that both of us had, that we were like, we could talk to anybody.
You're right.
And we could really just get into some shit.
Because we had the confidence of each other. We were like, all right.
Yeah, but we just knew, like, if we walked up to, let's say anybody, Donald Glover, we knew that, like, if I tried to say something and I failed, you would have something to retort it, and we would be back to it, and vice versa.
Yeah, that's nice to have. Yeah.
Man, I just don't find myself getting, I don't know, because I've gotten into such a mind of, like, I make music, and when I'm not making music, I'm playing basketball. And when I'm not doing that, I'm doing the podcast. When I'm not doing that, I'm doing freelance.
Yeah.
Or like hanging out with Ava. But like, I don't know. Sometimes I I don't allow myself to like just like the first story you told me, just like take a chance. Who knows where I might end up tonight? You know what I mean?
Oh, wait, which one's the first story?
The house.
Oh, that's the second story. But
sorry, that was the second story.
Yeah, that one is totally. Yeah, you're right.
That's
it's
a shenanigan.
Yeah, that is definitely a shenanigan.
You're just like, I don't know what's gonna happen, but I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna give this 20 more minutes.
Yeah, you're right. And I do miss getting in shenanigans too. Obviously I'm very work obsessed. I was talking to my cousin today, and she was like, I told her, we were talking about how people be turning up, and I told her, I was like, I do not turn up.
Mm-hmm.
I legit I do not party whatsoever. I don't get into shenanigans either. They have to they have to be.
It has to be the right moment.
It has to be career related, really. For me, it's like I have to be doing things of that nature. But you're right. I think, but I've gotten to a point where I need new inspiration. So I'm down to do shenanigans.
Well, let's get into shenanigans. Let's take a break.
Okay.
Let's talk about our sponsor, and then let's answer some damn questions because we honestly haven't done that in a couple of weeks. I want to take a moment to thank our sponsor, Movement Watches, for supporting the podcast.
The company was started by two broke kids that wanted to wear stylish watches. I know you've been like that before in your life, but they couldn't afford them, and I know you've been like that before too. So they started their own company. It's brilliant.
I've been like that my whole life. I've been trying to get out of being broke. I'll eat ramen noodles.
Out of being broke.
I'll eat ramen noodles until the day that I'm making millions. All right.
I like that you said get out of being broke.
That's what it is. It's getting out of it.
Yeah, Movement watches have a really clean design that makes a great fashion statement. Watches start at just $95. At a department store, you're looking at $400 to $500. And I know you've been into a department store was like, oh, no one goes into these anymore. I bet I can afford stuff in here.
True.
And then you pick it up and you're like, oh my goodness.
True.
So yeah, now is the time to step up your watch game. Go to movement.com/textback to get 15% off today with free shipping and free returns. That's movement.com/textback.
Ooh, you heard him.
It's time for some of them cues.
This is my vibe.
Me too.
Go ahead and read that first one.
Oh, this one's from Nick. He says, "My name is Nick. I've been writing music for a while, and I was wondering if you think your mood affects your writing, or is the overall tone is the same? Is there a mood you prefer to be in while writing?"
Is this in all caps or something?
No, I don't know.
That's the vibe you felt?
I wanted him to be like that. And he's not done. When do you think you found your tone? You know, that just reminded me of that dude. You remember that dude that used to make videos in his car and he would like just be yelling and it'd be about like Justin Bieber or something, but he like
the Italian dude?
Yeah,
I miss him.
Yeah.
I miss him so much. He's so fucking funny.
Yeah.
Like, he was so angry.
Yeah.
I remember him.
There's something cathartic about seeing somebody lose their shit.
I'm telling you, the best shit happens in parked cars.
Yeah, you're right, because you could really hear yourself. Yeah.
And you really feel like no one's watching you, even though like some people could see you, but like if you're in a garage or some shit,
it feels like privacy. Do you remember that time that we went to McDonald's? It was recently, and the guy in there, every time the blender would come on, he would start yelling.
What the fuck?
You don't remember that? I was dying laughing.
Inside of McDonald's?
You and me were and Ian were at the McDonald's, and then there was a guy and a girl and a man and a woman. They were sitting away from us. And like they were having a private conversation, but then the blender inside the McDonald's would go off, and it was really loud. So he would like start yelling because he needed to yell to convey what he was saying. Then the blender would cut out, and he would still be yelling.
Are you sure this wasn't a dream?
No, you don't remember this?
This is real?
Yeah, I was dying laughing.
That's a sitcom moment.
Yeah, it's funny. I guess I was the only one that was really tripping. You commented on it.
Really?
Yeah, I forget what you said, but it was just really funny to me.
My memory has been hazy today.
Yeah. But like it's just it's just our tones, we feel different when there's a loud sound behind us. If it's very quiet, we feel different.
Yeah.
That's why when I'm in my house, I have like different ambient sounds because it'll makes you feel different.
I noticed something weird and I wanted to bring it up to you. It was like a random thing that I thought of.
Yeah.
Not even specifically for the podcast, but have you ever noticed that when you watch TV during the day, you got to put it up to like 35 at least?
Yeah, but at night it's on like 6.
Yeah, how the fuck is that possible?
Yeah. I agree with you. I don't know.
Is it just quiet at nighttime?
Yeah, you're right. Even if there's no one in the house.
Yeah, it's a weird thing because like I don't really live in a loud neighborhood,
Yeah.
but during the day, unless it's at 35, I can't hear what they're saying.
You're
And
right.
I don't want to read subtitles, but at nighttime, if it's above 7, it's too loud.
Yeah, you're right.
I don't know if there's like some science behind
That's
that.
something you got to put in a movie. That's like, then people are like, that movie was so relatable. I too have to turn it up.
Yeah.
From 7 to yeah.
Do you think that that's like sound waves are bouncing off the walls?
Yeah,
because it's like hot or something.
I don't know. We have to go outside the city to the country or something. Someone from the country, please tweet us and let us know.
Yeah, let me know. 'Cause even I love the way nighttime sounds. When
Yeah.
I go outside and you're just like walking down the street,
You're
and no
right.
one's around,
Nighttime does sound cool.
Nighttime sounds fucking awesome. It's like crisp.
Yeah, you're right. It is very crisp.
I don't know what it is.
The sound that I like is the screeching of like car brakes. It's like
Really?
I don't know why it's very relaxing to me. It's like or big trucks slowing down that screeching.
I know what you mean.
The question is how does our mood affect our writing? And I'm pretty particular about like that too. Like let's talk about screenwriting. Screenwriting is, even though I went to college for it, it's very hard for me to sit down
to get into that
zone. So like I know I kind of have to do a lot. So like I do a lot of ambient sounds in my life just for it. That's what I have to do to be sane. And but when I'm like when it's time for me to write a script, I have to go all out. I even turn the heater on, the humidifier.
Really? You like to feel warm?
Yeah. If I'm gonna write something, I have to feel really warm. It's just that's some weird shit. But
That's weird.
Yeah,
I mean, whatever works.
Yeah, like it just like so how it kind of works for me is if I'm cold, my brain is on. Like if I'm cold and trying to go to sleep, my brain will stay on, and it'll just keep thinking and thinking and thinking. But when I'm warm, my brain is like I'm part of the rest of your body. And it's
interesting.
Yeah. I don't know when it's cold, my brain is like.
That's probably why you had insomnia back in the day.
Yeah, I was sleeping in the cold. Yeah, I definitely would sleep with my clothes off and be above the. Yeah. Now I definitely gotta.
What are you looking around like? There's
your air conditioner turned on and hit me in the back of the neck. That's the scary zone. That's the
scary zone. Don't touch that zone.
Yeah, you're right. But yeah, now I gotta if I want to write, I know there's hella you gotta find what is your right trigger. I don't know. Some people are like, if I drive right under this right spot, you gotta find where is your like this is my creative zone.
I realize that I like small spaces. I don't I don't like to make like the actual music, the instrumental part, producing. I don't like to produce in small spaces. I feel claustrophobic. But when I'm writing, I like to be in my car or I like to be in this closet.
Yeah,
I don't know when it's and it's another thing. It is usually warm in those type of situations.
Yeah. It's very ovum like.
There's some ovum.
Yeah, like when you're in the womb.
Oh,
it's very womb like. It feels safe.
It does feel safe.
Definitely my car is definitely my most creative zone. It's like how I get creative, it takes me a while sometimes. Like, as much as like I want to just say I just sit down and start writing, like sometimes I kind of have to just. There are some music that I listen to that I'm like. Did I ever share with you this Hockey Bone song?
Hockey Bone.
Yeah,
no.
it's this shit I found on the internet. It's absolutely beautiful. But I kind of contemplate for a minute. I have to.
It's like stretching before a run.
You're right. Yeah. I have to figure out how I feel, and once I feel like I'm opened up, then I can start to go.
See, I hear a lot of people, and this is specifically with music. I hear a lot of people when they hear a beat for the first time, they just kind of go like, "What? How does this song make me feel?" And that's kind of the way that they write, and that's how they dictate what they write. I've tried to do that, and I can't do that. I always base it off of how do I feel internally. Like it's not really, and then I just kind of find the beat that's just so happened to work in that moment. And if it does, like there's been so many beats where I'm like, damn, this beat is so dope, but I can't write to it. But I realized before I was just like, I'm bad. But I realized I can't write to it because I just don't feel inspired about it right now.
Yeah, I remember like as I told you, I've gone through tons of songs, and I remember the early ones I was doing, like Lavelle, my technician, he said to me like. That you have to find beats that fit your voice.
Yeah.
And I was like, at first for months, I didn't know what that meant. I was like, I was always think about that. And then now I kind of get it. I'm like, oh, I just know that the way that I want to speak is like, if it's a loud ass beat, like that's, you're not going to get the best parts of Arsenio. Like it's going to be, it's, I have to find where you can hear what I'm saying.
Sterling sent me a real nice text.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I'll tell you about it after. But
really?
He's a good man.
You know what? I've showed him a lot of my family and the thing that he and I have been working on, and people really, really like it. So
wait, you showed him
the thing that he and I have been working on that I recorded the rough drive to your house. Yeah, he's Sterling's killing it right now.
He's a good man. But the last part of that question was, how do you find What was it? Your tone?
I feel like I had something I was going to say, but I forgot.
Oh, really?
Yep, I forgot. It's okay. It'll come back.
It takes a long time to find your tone. I've been making music seriously for 5 years now.
Yeah.
Not that that's a long time, but I just in the past 6 months feel like I've found my sound, and I'm fucking really happy about that.
Yeah.
But it took a lot of different experiments and different like testing phases and failing.
The stuff you got going on is very different.
It's very like vibey and it's like that's the kind of music that I fucking love. Why wasn't I making it? I was trying to like make trap music. Like I don't.
Yeah.
I like trap music sometimes, but I don't listen to trap really.
You have to. You made it what you wanted to listen to. Yeah.
So now I make music that I enjoy and I feel way fucking happier about it.
Do you remember when me and Sterling were sitting there and he was like, I do have this. He was, Sterling does not really make trap beats, but he was like, I have this one trap beat and I made up that song.
What was it?
$100. Think I might have bought a Phantom.
$100. He sent you that beat, right?
No, he never sent it to me. No.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so I just made that up that day. Yeah.
How have I told you about the diss that someone that it sent to you and you haven't done a thing about it?
I know. I was like, for a second, I was like, finally. But I realized, no, it's just, I can't, I don't want to, I'm sneak dissed. You don't want to get caught into a sneak diss.
You want to be directly dissed.
Yeah, I mean, if you really want to talk, if he really wants to talk, and like, I'm ready.
You'll listen.
I'll listen, yeah. Yeah,
but until you say it to me, like, to my face.
Yeah, I'm not falling into a sneak diss.
Oh, okay, I see what you mean. I listened to Back to Back for the first time in maybe a year, yesterday, 2 days ago, and he really did it.
Yeah.
He destroyed Meek Mill.
Yeah,
I don't give a fuck what anyone says.
I don't think anybody says otherwise. Even Meek Mill himself. It's just that song feels like something. Like you could hear it in his voice.
He really did it.
We heard something in Drake's voice that we'd never heard in his voice before
or since.
Yeah,
he really. Honestly, to me, I fucking love Drake. Everyone knows that. After that back-to-back era,
everybody was gunning for him, though.
I don't know. I don't want to say fandom because that's weird, but I don't know.
Things peak and valley.
Yeah, I feel like he's gonna take a break and come back.
Yeah, I'd say Views was peak for me. Like it changed my life. Like I was young.
Yeah, Views was incredible. You're right.
Yeah, that was for me. That was like I was like, man. I remember I said at the time I was like, I don't think I'll ever be as big a fan of anything after this.
You did say that.
I was right. Yeah,
you did say that.
Yeah, I knew. Like I was absolutely inspired. So
I relate. I mean, I was fucking blown away by Kendrick's album. I remember because it came out the same day my EP came out. Which was like everyone was tweeting me like that was a mistake. I was like, I'm not in competition with Kendrick. That's a whole different universe.
I know that's something else entirely.
I was like, my shit is not gonna phase that at all, and I know that. But I remember it came out that same night, and I was already so fucking like excited. When you release a project, it's like finally it's out. People can listen to it, and hopefully people like it. But I was like, in such a great mood, probably high. And then I put on headphones. I was alone, and I just turned the lights off and listened to Kendrick's album. I was like blown away. I was like in tears, and I was like, "Dude, it's so fucking good."
Yeah, emotions, man, and it's so very possible. It's so very possible. Just being emotionally loaded like that.
Ooh, that's a nice little phrase.
I think about that a lot. I'm not as emotionally loaded as I used to be.
Really?
Now, I'd say last year, the peak, like last summer, I was emotionally loaded as fuck. I couldn't sit down.
Like you were basing things purely off your emotion?
I still am in some ways, but like, no, I emotionally loaded and you can be emotionally loaded because someone triggers you, like, oh, I got broken up with, I'm emotionally loaded.
Right.
But like, you can also, like, I think like people like Kendrick and like what we were talking about on a different podcast, what I think about Lil Dicky being emotionally loaded is when you just are, I feel like Kendrick, like, because he isn't like releasing every week, he gets to fill up his emotional tank, and then as he wants to let it out. Like when we're like, I'm still like a working artist, so like whether I like it or not, I have to create. Like I don't have the ability to sit back and
disappear.
Yeah, I can't just disappear and like emotionally load myself. Like I have to expel myself today.
Yeah.
So I can't wait to get to a place to where I can be like, oh, I've just been emotionally loading myself for weeks.
Yeah. It's that whole like I gotta live life to write this next album.
Yeah.
I can't just go in the studio now because I've already talked about everything I want to talk about.
Yeah, and I love the place I'm in, but like I'm still working hard for it.
Yeah.
And what I've been thinking about a lot lately is that like I have to prove it. Like people do the way that you get that ability is if you prove it to people first that you can have it. And once you do that, then you can. Like I can't skip this step.
Man, it's interesting that you say you have to prove it.
Yeah, I have to conjure this beautiful feeling myself. So then, when people hear it, and like when someone says something or feels something, you can feel it too. It's a human thing.
I was talking to Ava about this literally tonight and earlier, and we have a friend, and you also know the person, but this person in the particular thing that they are doing, I was like, wow, they are really good, and they're on their way to something really special, and they're gonna be fucking huge one day. And then they kind of got to a place where they got validation by a few people, and then they got to a stage where they really felt like they needed to prove themselves.
Yeah.
And then they became not as good in my eyes anymore. Like, they're still good, but they're not as good as they were before when they were just having fun. Because now they're taking it too serious. Now they're trying to prove themselves to their peers who are already in a better, more successful place.
Yeah.
And it's just like, they're taking it too serious. And it's just...
Jadedness.
I can tell... Yeah, it's the jadedness. I could tell that they're not having a good time anymore.
It's like, I know what you mean. There's some people who feel bad about their art. Like, if going to create comes from a place of badness to you,
negativity,
yeah, like, and you're like, and when you keep trying you just keep trying to do it again and again and again, it might not be the thing you need to be doing right now.
Yeah, or the way
should
that
be
you
emotionally loading yourself.
Oh,
and because of this internet age, we don't have that. We don't want to take a break. Because we're like, I'll follow relevant. I'll get less likes if I post less photos.
God damn.
But in the real artistic world, when you're emotionally loading yourself for that art, that's what's getting me lately. Is like what I really want to do. I've realized, and it's changed my life. This has been a life-changing week, as you've heard from the past couple stories. And it's not even over yet. Going to New York tomorrow. We'll see what happens. I've just learned that like what I want to do is I want to make the things. That's all I want to do. I just want to make the things that you go to the theater to watch, that you turn your speakers all the way up to listen to. Mm-hmm. That's what I want to do. Like all these other things in life, like I'm so thankful for them, but that's what I want to do.
So they're kind of not like they're distractions, but they're kind of like distractions.
Yeah, they're kind of distractions. I think we put weight on things that, like, I think, people have the weight that they have things on, and some of them are just so pointless. They're so of today. They're in our phone.
Yeah.
But I just, I think that I know that what I want to do, it's a little bit different.
No, I get that.
Yeah.
Yeah, hopefully that answers your question. Should we do one more?
Yeah.
You got him.
Morty. Did I ever tell you that I like Rick and Morty now?
No, you didn't. That's very shocking.
Yeah, right?
Wow.
Right?
Rick and Morty's really good.
Yes, it's absolutely
While Will is pulling up the next one, if you want to send us an email, send it to sheetandtextback@gmail.com. Also, if you can please rate us on iTunes, that would be great.
Those are the only ones I liked.
Just search Sheet and Text Back and give us a couple stars, Give us the amount of stars you think we deserve. The higher, the better in our eyes. We want people to listen to this.
I love having stars on my podcast.
Yeah, we love them stars. Them gold-ass stars. It feels like good. It's like kind of like having a grill without having a grill. I saw your sister. She's getting a grill.
Oh, yes, she did have a grill.
Okay.
My sister graduated this weekend.
I mean, she deserves it. Let's give her that. She deserves it.
So much happened.
I think we do have to do one more though, Will.
Okay, I just opened this one. I haven't even read it, but we'll just read it anyway.
Just wing it, yeah.
Hey boys, so I'm currently in my first semester at a law school, and with all the overwhelming stress and work to do, I often distance myself from my emotions so I can complete the task at hand.
Been there.
Do you guys have any advice on how to still be yourself and enjoy the things you love in extremely rough times? Thanks, Buds, Graham.
Damn.
Well, being yourself, I'm thankful I get to do that a lot. People more recently than ever in my life have been telling me that I'm weird. Not weird, but like people have been laughing at me, and I don't know why more than ever.
Like
before.
Making fun?
No, not making fun. I think I'm just goofy or whatever. But
so like having fun.
People keep saying that I'm like wild. Like they're like I can't believe you just said that. Like.
I mean, you've always been like that.
Yeah, or maybe I'm just finally keen to it, but like I don't know. I feel like it's more, and I feel like it's because I've been myself more than ever. Like I feel really good about it. Like because what we were just talking about. Because I feel like since I found my focus, or it's just I'm more focused than I was before. I don't know. I just feel like I feel good, and I think that's vibrating on other people.
Wait, so this person is saying that they're working hard, but they're having a hard time being themselves?
Yeah, I think you'll find yourself being feeling better when you are yourself.
I want to have a conversation with my older self so bad, but I
Me
just wonder,
too.
like, is a lot of these things, like, finding yourself, is that a young person thing? Or is that, like,
Oh,
are
no.
people 80 and they're still like, I
I
don't know who
absolutely
the fuck
believe.
I am?
Yeah. People, you can find it, and you can lose it, but you got to find it. You can find it back
Oh, yeah,
again.
you always hear about that. They're like, I lost myself.
Yeah, and I think it's like a life thing. I hope that I am still in awe of this world as I am now when I'm 80. I can only pray like that I can still feel this much, like I have that much to turn on my life. Like I wish I could say that, like I wish how I feel right now, like there's so much limitless potential because I could potentially live another 60 years. But like I hope that I can feel this open about the future as I am when I'm old. You could always find yourself.
I just realized that the saddest thing that can happen in a relationship that I can think of right now, which makes the stakes pretty low, is when someone breaks up with you and says they lost themselves in you. That's so sad. I'm going to make that a song.
Ooh,
but it's like, damn, I've had someone tell me that before. They're like, I lost myself because of you, because of this relationship. Like,
wow.
that's heavy.
Yeah, that's crazy. That is crazy.
It's my fault that you're not happy right now.
Man. I don't know. I love love. I've been thinking about romance a lot. Yeah, it's weird.
On your days off.
Yeah, I love romance.
While you're in bed watching anime.
I'm a big romance sucker. I think that's why I'm like create this shit. Like I'm a big sucker for some romance.
I want my music. I want my music to be a new couple's song that they can grow
really nice.
Old with.
Yeah, that's really good.
So when they look back in 15 years, they're like, that DVG song is.
Yeah,
that's our song.
Yeah.
Because that's a real special thing that pretty much every relationship has. Every relationship has a song.
Yeah, I had that's what really gets you. Like, I love Hotline Bling. It's because it was my song, because I think about this girl. Now she really is my Hotline Bling. Damn.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Or that's the relationship with yourself. That's when you found out you loved yourself, maybe. I don't know.
I like this. You know what? I feel like I love myself. Not within the past 2 months.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like honestly, I got keen to it. I'd say the very beginnings of it was 2015 when we lived in that house in North Hills.
Right.
Because a girl told me that she said that I was beautiful, and I was like, really? And like it had never been said to me by a girl that I liked, and I was like, oh. And because before that, I thought that I was ugly. I know, it's like weird, but I thought that I was an ugly person, and I think a lot of people feel like that. And all it takes is most people do, And all it did, I was 21, and someone told me, and I was like, oh shit, I'm not ugly.
I relate to that. I remember when I was with Snake Woman. She
said it. Yeah,
she would say things like that to me too, and that had never happened to me prior. And it is a weird feeling. Like I haven't thought about that since, but that is a weird feeling to think oh, someone does. Think I'm attractive.
Yeah, I don't try to take those things in too much, but
well, it's attractive, not just looks, but also your personality and the person that you are, inside and out.
Of course, that girl was goofy as hell. So, the people that love you. No, not yours, mine.
Oh, yours?
Yeah.
Oh, really? I don't even know which one you're talking about.
Sydney. I'll just say it was.
Oh, really?
So she's goofy as hell.
She's very goofy.
Thank you. I can thank her, though. She's the first person that told me that was beautiful. I was like, thank you.
Wow, that's not who I was thinking that said that.
No.
But that totally makes sense.
Yeah, and she's goofy as hell.
Man, I just want to sit down with Sydney and just have a taco and just talk.
Yeah.
Just how in person though.
Yeah, I know. Me too. I've been texting her recently. I think she's gonna send me a new painting. So
that's not what I thought you were gonna say.
No.
This has been the Sheet and Text Back podcast. It's always a good time, I hope. And until next week, if you want to send us a question, you know where to send it. You can follow Will and I on Instagram and Twitter.
Love is real.
On the same places that it was last week. If you're
at
not
Mr.
following,
William Haynes.
You're probably not going to do it. At Darren Von Gertner. I got a new song coming out in about a week and a half.
That's
I'm
dope.
really excited. And that's about it.
Is that the one we were just listening to?
That is the
on
one.
the break?
That is the one.
Cool, good.
All right, people. Stay safe out there.
Love
Have
is
a
real.
great time.